Welcome to Simple Scotch Reviews. Here we're kind of gonna do a buyer's guide type breakdown to the Auchentoshan line. So, yes, I know, before I start, Auchentoshan makes other whiskeys. They make several others, including the 18-year-old, the 21-year-old, and I believe it's Bartender's Malt. These three are the three that are available near me. I would love to try the others, especially the 18 and 21. That'd be a great experience. I'll have to try to find them sometime while I'm traveling. So, to break these down for a buyer's guide, not just here's my favorite, here's that. So, let's start with the American Oak. The American Oak, Auchentoshan American Oak, is first fill bourbon they use in the production of this whiskey, and it's very apparent in the flavors. It's got those vanilla notes, some citrus. You're limited in the complexity of this whiskey. Not saying complexity inherently always makes it better, but not a super complex whiskey, very friendly and approachable, and the price point is significantly below these other two whiskeys. At least in my market, the price is about half the 3 wood and half the 12-year-old as well. So it's about half the price of the other two. These two are similar in price. This one's about half the price. I think when you factor price in with flavor, it definitely holds its own against the other two. These two are noticeably better, but this one's not off-putting and half the price. So it definitely holds its weight when price is a factor. Not super complex. It's got just vanilla and citrus for me. You can check out my review I did on it before. It's pretty much vanilla and citrus, some oak notes. It's very basic, but it's friendly, easy sipper. Auchentoshan 3 wood is very unique. It's definitely going to be more in that love it or hate it category. So while this whiskey, I think most people are going to find it approachable, and if anything, meh. If they don't like it a lot, they're going to be like, it was okay. I don't really need to get it again. That's fine. It's cheap. This one, much more split opinions. I think you're gonna love it. Lots of people really love this whiskey, or you're gonna hate it. I've given it to 5 people now that I've had whiskey tasting time with, and 2 or 3 of us liked it. I think one was undecided, but 2 of us liked it, 2 of us hated it. So I think opinions are split. It's got a lot of stuff going on. I get tons of tobacco, which is interesting because tobacco, while I get it in other whiskeys, I did not. If you just told me about this whiskey, never having experience with it, I would never assume there's going to be that much tobacco in this whiskey, but there definitely is. Tons of baking spice. There's other notes as well. Nut. Check out the reviews of all 3 of these if you want the in-depth tasting notes, because there are reviews being put up for all 3 of them. But this whiskey does have lots of sherry influence, as it's the 3 wood. It's got 2 types of sherry used, the Oloroso and Pedro Jimenez. 12-year-old to me is this great middle ground. I feel like for most people it's going to be the most appealing because it's got brown sugar. The brown sugar is lighter and not as intense as this one. It also doesn't have the tobacco note. It's got a hint of the nuttiness. This one's got a lot more of the nuttiness. So I feel like this one is a step up from the American Oak when it comes to flavor. It's more enjoyable to me. It's just not this far in those flavors. The 3 wood shares some similar characteristics to the 12. It does, but they're much more intense, and some things from the 12 are missing in the 3 wood, and the 3 wood has things that aren't in the 12. Check out the reviews, but the 3 wood has tobacco, which I don't get in the 12-year-old. 3 wood also has more baking spice for sure. It's got everything more intense from the 12, but the main 2 flavor differences, you can check my videos, I might not be remembering completely correctly, but Auchentoshan 12 has lots of floral notes to me. Honey floral notes. 3 wood, no floral notes, but tobacco. So basically, to make it far too oversimplified, 12-year-old plus tobacco plus intensity on every note, making them darker, minus the floral. You lose the floral, you get the tobacco, and everything else gets more dark and intense. And lots more of the rich fruit, the sherry fruit. It makes sense because 12-year-old also has some sherry cask influence, albeit much less than the 3 wood. So all those things add up. Think this, if you haven't tried any of them before, you haven't had Auchentoshan and you want to try one, very friendly and approachable, cheaper, and very just light. There's not going to be anything off-putting about it. Auchentoshan 12, if you don't know, if none of these sound more appealing than the other to you, Auchentoshan 12 is the one I would recommend. It's delicious, it's got some uniqueness to it, and it's kind of middle-of-the-road flavor category compared to these other 2. Auchentoshan's its own experience. They're all triple distilled, so they all have that interesting nugget about them. 3 wood is the most bold. So from others that I know and have heard talking about this whiskey, it sounds like if you don't really like Auchentoshan all that much, but you like the 3 wood, because if you like those punchy flavors, this one's for you compared to the other 2. It's much more intense in terms of flavors, and that's just a little bit on each of them. I thought this video would be helpful in addition to the reviews about each. Don't rely on this video for the tasting notes. Watch each specific video for more in-depth tasting notes about each. I didn't taste them right now, so I don't have the notes written out for me, but check out the reviews. This was just kind of a buyer's guide of, so you want to try Auchentoshan, here's the 3 main ones and sort of who should get each one. So hopefully this is useful if you're considering buying Auchentoshan, and hopefully you pick the right one and you enjoy it. But don't rule out Auchentoshan. I don't rule out any distillery based off of one bottle. If I bought just the 3 wood and was like, oh, this is too intense, consider trying the 12-year-old as well, or even the American Oak, but consider the 12 too, because I could see why some people wouldn't like the 3 wood. I'm never going to rule a distillery out completely, but I'm definitely not doing so after one bottle. There's distilleries that I'm not really a fan of, and those distilleries I've had multiple bottles from each and still feel that way. Not going to turn one down if someone offers me one to try, but I give everything more than one chance because distilleries can make very different whiskeys from one another. And hopefully this information about each helps for the buyer's guide, and thanks for watching. I do hope to make some other buyer's guides for whiskeys that I have the whole lineup of, and hopefully there's an Oban one coming soon that'll have the Oban Little Bay, Oban Bay Reserve, Oban 14 Distillers Edition, and Oban 18. Should have all of those lined up for you. Hoping to get that video done soon. Check out the channel. There's lots of videos on there now. There's more coming soon too. Gonna start bringing in some Canadian whiskey, some more American whiskey. I don't think there's actually any American whiskey videos uploaded yet. and some more Irish whiskey. So we're going to explore all the different kinds of whiskey and give simpler reviews for each. And I hope to do more of these, not just straight review videos, these buyer's guide and comparison videos, because comparing whiskeys to one another, especially two from the same distillery, are very useful bits of information, I feel, for people that are wondering which one to buy and those sorts of things. So, as always, thanks for watching.